Welcome to another video. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to upgrade your sound system on your 60s Mustang minus a 67. Stay tuned. First thing I'm gonna do is get started back here on the trunk with putting my subs in the box and then hooking up my amp right here on the back. So if you watched the previous video, I show how I did the speaker box and all this setup here. And then now I'm just gonna put my speakers in here, get this set up, and then we'll move to the inside to do the inside speakers and the head unit. All right, so first I got my two subs here. They're 10-inch subs. They're Boss Audio. I went with this brand because it's very affordable. I had some other items before from them and they work pretty good. So, but you know, I just figured the price point anyways, that's why I went with them. So first things first is you want to look at your instructions, see how you want to wire them. And then I already have the wires here, so I'm just going to wire these and mount them, and then I'll get my amp and put it here in the middle. Alright, so I have the subs all mounted in there. Again, just follow the instructions that come with whatever subwoofers you're using on how you want to wire them. What I'm going to do now is get my amp set up, so I have to remove this little panel here, which is pretty simple. I do have to take this piece off, so this is probably the hardest one that I did as far as taking it off. I do have a couple of little caps and then a couple of bolts there, just because this is just sitting here. But once you do that, I take it off. This panels here, they got the little nuts. Have the little studs there, so all I have to do is kind of get out of the way. So I have a capacitor here that I have to wire in, and I already have I was gonna originally do a battery here in the trunk, so I do have my negative wire here, which I have to put an end to mount it. I have my positive cable here, and this is sitting back here. There we go. So I have to put an end to this one as well, and then I do have my RCA cable and everything here, so I'm just gonna run these to come to up here. I'm gonna mount the positive negative to the capacitor, and then from the capacitor is gonna go to the amp right over here. So I'm gonna get those wires set up and then get my amp mounted right here in the middle. So now that this is pretty much all set here, what I'm gonna do with this amp is already bolted it down. I did put a little bit of a spacer. Actually, you can't see anything without the light here. Let me get the light. I went ahead and put like a little spacer behind the amp, just that way there's a little bit of an air gap. Anyways, I'm gonna move it up about 1.5 inches, just that way the cables are kind of out of the way of the sub here. You know, as you do things, you kind of learn, you kind of get new ideas. So, and I might do this later on, but what I was thinking is I could do like another face here out of wood, and you know, do a standoff maybe the 2 inches, the thickness of the amp here, and just put, you know, carpet right on top, and then just cut the hole just right around the amp here on top, so you can't see any of the wires or any of that. And then if these are going to be out of the way of the sub, just cut a hole where the sub is, and then put a wood, you know, piece of wood around, so all you see is the sub back there, and then just the face of that. So or, you know, when I did the box, I could have made like kind of like an indentation for the amp. I just didn't have any of those things there. So, you know, as you kind of do things, you kind of learn what you can improve for next time, or even change it as you go. But that's kind of an idea that I have that I might kind of do later on. So what I'm going to do now is work here on the inside. So I have my tray here on the back that goes on the back. I took the speakers off that were on there. I'm going to clean that a little bit, and I'm going to fit it, just make sure if it's good over here. And then I'm going to see, I was going to do double the thickness, but I really don't think I need it, or I have the room really. So and then I'm just going to see if the new speakers, which are 5x7s, cover the holes of the, I think those were 6.5, and if they do, I'm just going to cut the bigger hole, and then cover this with that fabric that I had bought before. So I'll get started on that. So this is how the tray fits back here. It kind of slides under the rubber seal for the window there, and so it fits okay. The holes for the speakers line up with the ones in the car. So this is the main upgrade, I guess, one of the upgrades for your classic Mustang. Originally they had one speaker here on the back, one on the front where I have my gauge pod there. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do 2 speakers. There's already holes here on the back on a 67, and I mean, I think these are pretty big holes where you can fit even probably like a 6x9 speaker. But you can also buy the pieces that go here, you know, this quarter pieces that have provision for like a 6.5 speaker kind of here in the corner, and so those are pretty nice too. I think they're a few $100s though, so this is the more inexpensive way, because you can make one of these or buy one of these little trays, you know, cut the holes there. I think when I think I might have bought this, it was like $20 for that piece of wood. I mean, I have a piece left over from all the other pieces. I can make my own, but that's way less expensive. And so same on the front. I'm not just gonna put the one speaker here on the dash. I'm gonna do some here on the kick panels, and you can buy the kick panels as well. I think those are about $150. I'm gonna try to see if I can make mine kind of like a custom way. If not, then I'll end up buying some of those. But I'm gonna pull this out and then put the nice fabric just so it looks nicer than just the plain wood, and get my new speakers on there and then put it back in. right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and install this. I don't know what this is, package tray or something like that, but I'm gonna install it here in the car. I'm gonna hook up the speakers here. I had already run the wiring all the way from the front to the back here, so I just gotta connect it. There we go. Push the wire in the hole there. All right. Now, because the piece here is a little bit thicker now than before, because it now has like the fabric on it, I'm just gonna put this hook here just to make sure that it goes underneath the rubber seal there. So that's in there. Just be careful if you are getting the hook under the rubber seal. I was just kind of gliding it under there, not really pulling, so that way I don't rip it. But that's what it looks like. This is kind of like a vinyl, fabric, and then I put the extra little foam, just that way it makes it kind of thicker. So looks pretty good. The seat's gonna be in here, and that's gonna cover these little, let's see here, there's this little clip that goes here, and this used to hold that in there. I'm just gonna have to bend the clip here a little bit, but I don't know where the other one is, or if I even had another one. That kind of just went here to hold it. But that's really all that I had. So now that that is in, as far as sound system, the next step is going to be for me to install the head unit. So I'm gonna get that, and then I'll show you guys when I'm done with that. All right, so we got the stereo here. I still need to finish installing it. So this is the stereo I went with, Boss Audio. Yes, it's not a name brand like a Kick or anything like that, but I'm also on a budget. So this stereo here has Android Auto, Apple Play, all that stuff, big screen, and it was like $240. You know, if I go with the name brand, I'm gonna spend like $800, and it's gonna be something like this. So keep that in mind. Obviously, you know, you can do whatever you want. You can put whatever stereo you want in your car, but that's what I'm going with. I'm gonna get to a stopping point here because I need to get these clips here on the hold this base for the radio. The car already, you know, it has these bottom ones here. But I don't have the top ones here. And now that I remember, I think on the top it had some big ones that fell out. So I don't know where they're at, and so I'm gonna get new ones so I can finish mounting this piece on there. The way this radio is, you know, the screen has to be out. That way it's big here. So I mounted the little metal piece here, the bracket to this bracket. It's out, and I put a couple of screws on the top and the bottom, and you know, those were on the inside, so you won't see them or anything. And then just to cover, I wrapped it in this vinyl here, so that way when it's back, it just looks black around the vinyl there. But I wanted it to be out here, that way it's, you know, way past here. If I would have put it all the way in like we were supposed to, then, you know, this was gonna hit all this. So it did work. I'm not gonna play music because, you know, YouTube and all that. But and what I like is that I can turn the key backwards, and this works. Really cool, you know, big display. It does have the volume knob right up here. Once you connect the your phone, it has the Android Auto here. Really cool. I definitely like the way that works. You know, you can play your music. It has your Maps, Google Maps, kind of like on your phone, so that's really cool about it. So anyways, it does have this plug. I don't think it's wireless for Android Auto. You might have wireless like Bluetooth for music, but for Android Auto you do have to connect it, which is okay. It did come with this and the other connection, and I'll make a video once I mount it, and I'll show you guys all the features it has. I couldn't try the amp because I need a fuse for the main power line, so I'm gonna get that as well. So that's gonna be it for this video though. If you liked the video, leave a thumbs up. Any comments, questions, leave them below. We'll see you in the next one.